Welcome to California in Focus. I'm David Mastio, and today we're talking about the latest from California's Little Hoover Commission. Joining me today is the Center Square's Kenneth Schrupp, a California reporter. Kenneth, what's up at the Little Hoover Commission?
Hey, David. The Little Hoover Commission released its report on retail theft, finding that theft is underreported, although it's sort of at an unknown degree, and causes inflation. The name does sound a little funny, but the Little Hoover Commission is a deeply respected, bipartisan, independent state oversight agency whose findings are sent to the governor and the legislature and often take the form of legislation that it works with legislators to refine and support through the voting process. The two recommendations that the Hoover Commission gave out, though, sort of reflect some challenges that they had with actually fulfilling legislators' requests. 66 legislators, Republicans and Democrats, asked the Little Hoover Commission to study how Prop 47, a 2014 ballot proposition that reduced sentencing and criminal status of many drug and theft crimes, has impacted shoplifting in the state. And the two recommendations that we got from the commission were that the state collect more data on individuals arrested for theft, including law enforcement response, people arrested, demographics, charges, recidivism, and then also conduct studies on theft and crime with independent research organizations like think tanks, such as the Public Policy Institute of California or places like the University of California or Cal State System. What the report really does say at the bottom of it is that we actually really don't know how much Prop 47 is affecting crime because we have inadequate state data. But what it does really reference are the cost of theft in general, including inflation, cost of businesses, but businesses shutting down. And it also notes that there's a lot of available jail capacity, which it doesn't explicitly say we need to put more serial thieves in jail, but by alluding to having a lot of excess, thousands of jail spaces open and prison spaces open, suggests that perhaps enforcement would not come with having to open new prisons.
So what are the next steps that the Little Hoover Commission will take?
Well, the Little Hoover Commission issued its report, and if legislators want to take their recommendations, which, honestly, those are just very light recommendations. It's collect more data and conduct studies. And I think every legislature loves to collect more data and conduct studies instead of actually making any changes that would address the issue more rapidly. But yes, those two options would, in the longer term, provide political cover for the state's legislature, which has a Democratic supermajority, to make greater changes to how we prosecute criminals. Now, voters can go ahead and decide to reject this drawn-out process by voting yes on something called Proposition 36. Proposition 36 would really amend Prop 47 to allow for serial thieves, serial drug dealers, serial criminals to actually go to prison if they are continuing to commit crimes over and over. And it would also create this new felony class called treatment mandated felony, which, recognizing that a lot of repeat theft is from individuals with mental illness or drug addiction, require that these individuals successfully complete treatment for their mental health condition or drug addiction to get the felony removed from their record and then be supported with shelter and other services to ensure that they don't fall back into a cycle of addiction, illness, and crime. This measure, though, has drawn a big divide between Democrats. We see Governor Newsom sort of being the really only prominent Democrat to come out and oppose this, while this broader coalition of businesses, including Home Depot, Walmart, Target, including the sort of typical pro-law enforcement coalition of the Republican Party of California, the California District Attorneys Association, the California Sheriff's Association backing the measure, along with moderate Democrats such as Mayor London Breed of San Francisco, the mayor of San Jose, and Mayor Todd Gloria of San Diego backing it.
Kenneth, at the core of this issue appears to be incomplete data. Can you tell me more about what the problem is there?
Yeah, there's really two sides of incomplete data. There's the issue with already collected data, and then the lack of actual reporting done by a lot of people. So this Little Hoover Commission report used FBI data to try to figure out the average theft value and number of total crimes. But unfortunately, the state's three largest law enforcement agencies don't actually use the current up-to-date crime reporting system, which causes sort of an undercounting in the FBI's database of crimes. There's this system called the summary reporting system that was used up until 2021 that only put the worst offense in an incident into the FBI's crime statistics database. So imagine an individual commits a theft and an assault in one incident. The summary reporting system would only count the assault, which means that these less serious offenses and a crime spree would be undercounted. These departments have been given millions of dollars to do their transition, and they're really still not done. LAPD's crime website, statistics website, has been down since, I believe, March of 2024, and I called and they said they have no indication it'll be up. So that's a complete mess. Second, though, is people just really don't report crime. There was a survey done in Oakland's business district by a nonprofit organization and its member businesses, and it found that 94% of the 132 businesses that responded to the survey reported having experienced a crime, and that of those businesses, 31% did not report the crimes to the police because, and I quote, "police take too long to respond, and even if they do show up, the crime won't be resolved. Reporting crimes won't change anything." One proprietor wrote in their survey, "Calling the police never makes a difference, and the people we are calling the police on know the cops won't show up anyway." The survey also found that 29% of businesses that called 911 didn't even get a response. Like, the police just never showed up. So there are a lot of reasons why businesses don't report crime. Another survey of national businesses found that, 52% of businesses say that they don't want to report crimes because their insurance rates are going to go up, because you prove that you are a higher risk business if you report crime or theft. So you can't even report this crime to your insurance company to get back the money that you lost. There was a small business in Fresno called Lupita's Boutique that lost their insurance because they reported too much theft, because they just were considered too high risk. So underreporting is a major problem.
Kenneth, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.